Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today we are currently just sitting out here in the lot here in the 69 Bronco. Just got back from a little relaxing cruise around town in this big old thing. But today's video is not going to be revolving around the Bronco today. What we're going to be doing is some light modifications to something new I've just gone ahead and picked up earlier today. And what that was this beauty right here. It's currently still in the making, still in the works. Bought off a kid this morning. He was selling it for pretty cheap, you know, for the year and the model. Now what this kid was really building this thing for was, if you couldn't already tell, with the lift and the snorkel, and later on today, actually real soon, I'm going to throw on some new wheels and tires so we can take this thing mudding in today's video. But anyways, he's already gotten this thing about 90% complete. When he ended up hitting a roadblock, and I don't exactly know what happened, but he had to sell the thing. Now still runs alright, fires right up, nothing seems to be wrong with the motor, may have just been rebuilt. I don't really know the history of it. This thing could have been sunk for all I know. But of course, I'm hoping that's not the case, and I'm just hoping that this kid was building it to take it deep in some waters, but then something happened where he just couldn't really complete the build and he had to sell it. And I happened to be the one that bought it, and along with that, I just went ahead and got my new wheels and tires in for this thing, and they're pretty big. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and throw them on here. Then we'll take another look at the quad in the state that I'm assuming the kid wanted to get it to, because I don't think anyone's riding this thing through any mud holes with the current setup of the wheels and tires here. But I have lifted a quad or two in my lifetime, and I do know that re-gearing them just so they can actually get through the mud holes alright with the big old wheels and tires and whatnot is kind of a pain, as well as extending the chain, find the exact length of chain you need to make sure it's still tight, not even loose a little bit. You know, obviously you're going to want a little bit of slack, but you know, not too tight, not too loose. So it's kind of hard to find that specific chain once you lift the quad. But it looks like you got that all figured out. It does have an aftermarket exhaust on it, and the quad all around is pretty new, has a nice shiny paint job on it. Really doesn't look too beat up, but we'll see how she'll perform in the mud hole. That's really the only reason I bought this thing, besides from the price. And I knew, since I already had pretty much all the work done to it that I needed to get done to it, or that I'd like to get done to it, now I just need wheels and tires. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those on real quick. I do have them laying in the shop over there, so I'll catch you guys as soon as they're on. Alrighty guys, now would you look at that? Here they are. Love the brand new big rims, nice and shiny, but so were the old ones. I bet I could find a purpose. Maybe if I buy like a stock one that, well, really, I don't like stock quads. I mean, I do, but if they're stock and not really that beat on, or nothing's really done to them, you want to keep them nice, you know. But yeah, those wheels and tires that I just took off these things, they had nice shiny wheels on. The tires looked in pretty good condition, had pretty much all their tread on them, not too worn out. So I'm going to keep those around just in case I do get another quad to throw them on, preferably maybe another Honda. But anyways, here we are. We got the big new mud grippers on there, as you guys can see. Just barely might rub in the rear. I mean, they just barely clear them is what I mean. I don't really think they'll rub at all. Now, turning radius, there's a chance it might rub a little bit. Might have to cut off just a hair right there. They are pretty big, but they are going to get us through some mud holes. So, only one way to find out. And now I'm going to go ahead and take her on out up the road here. Just have to go out there. I'll catch you guys as soon as I'm on the road. Head on up to my favorite mudding spot. I'm actually headed up to my other house a little bit outside of town. So I'm actually going to have to roll through town on this thing. So I'll take just a little bit to get up to the other house. But then back there past the woods, just a little bit down the dirt road past the house, is where I have the prime spot for mudding. So can't wait to take this thing down there. This might be one of the biggest quads I've ran through a mud hole before. So catch you guys as soon as I'm there. Alrighty guys, we are now about to hit the highway here and make our way on into town here. Up to the house. The turn is right up here somewhere. I don't know, I'm talking about going up into town. We already went through town, kind of past it. It's actually not going to be that turn back there, but it will be this turn here. Let's go ahead and whip it, and just, there's the other house there. Don't really come to this property too often, but now we're on the dirt road. As you guys can see, some nice scenery out here. One of my favorite roads all around to take a brand new four-wheeler on, really any four-wheeler on, but this is just a fun road to wheelie down and stuff like that. Tear it up after a good rain. But back here is the spot you guys are going to want to see. So right down here is one of my favorite mud holes, mainly because it's on my property. It's super convenient to get to. I'm going to go ahead and get the tires wet. Brand new tires, first time seeing water. Let's go ahead and see how it doesn't really get deep till over in that region. So let's just go ahead and get the tires wet here. Maybe it has seen mud, but I know these new tires, or as long as my ownership of them, I know they haven't seen mud yet. Well, I've been riding the thing, so let's go ahead. Right now, we're kind of getting a little bit lower. Good thing it does have the snorkel on it. Hopefully, this thing does have an airtight, or not airtight, watertight seal on the airbox. Be pretty important here. Let's go ahead and just send it through some of this mud here. Alright, we're going pretty deep now. Going just a little deep. So far not having too hard of a time. The mud does get a little bit deep through here. The ruts, oh, I'm making some pretty deep ruts. Really since the last rain, just kind of, the mud is all just really settled out a little bit. Oh, it's getting hard to turn here. Alright, we're just in rear wheel drive pulls. We're not getting too deep. We're not going too rowdy with it. We're kind of just crawling on through, going just a little bit slow for the most part. Really haven't even touched the bottom of the snorkel yet. Later on today, I might have to find a spot where we can take this thing extremely deep. Right there, we're touching the bottom of the snorkel. This thing is completely underwater. As you guys can see, we're in some mud, but we're going to be able to get out just fine. Let's go ahead and kick it. Let's go ahead and kick it in four-wheel drive here, put it in low gear, and let's just go ahead and power all the way out here. Oh, we're wheeling it through the water. Love to see it. Gotta whip this turn here. Now this water here, because even after this last rain, it's not deep at all, but we'll wash off our tires here just a little bit. Now down here it's not even muddy, it's just straight up water. Alright, into high gear we go. This thing's pretty jumpy, pretty powerful, not slow whatsoever. We're doing some high gear pulls here where the mud gets a little bit deep, or we're just going to spin out just for a minute. I wish I could take this thing like deep, just really deep. Over here is just complete straight mud. Want to dodge those trees here. Let's go ahead and whip it around here. So far, we've kind of just been tearing up this mud hole. And I'm actually pretty impressed with this quad. Like, I'm having a lot of fun rolling through here. But I don't really think it's doing it for me that much. I knew it wasn't going to be that deep, even though it did rain recently. But this was just kind of my testing grounds right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and cruise on up into town once again, and I think I could take a trail up right to one of my favorite spots where I could take this thing deep. So I'm on my way into town now. I'll catch you guys as soon as I'm at my favorite spot. Alrighty guys, we're rolling up to the trail currently right here right now. Quite the long ride from up that way, but we finally just came down that little hill and I made it to one of my favorite spots under this bridge here. So really here, I need to hit the brakes here so I don't accidentally just roll in. We can actually start from back over here, but here's the water. I hear it gets pretty deep down here, and it gets pretty muddy as well. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and send it in here. Nice and slow. Oh, that's not that slow, but alright, let's just see.